An ex-executive at Levi's, Jennifer Say, has launched a new clothing brand. It's XXXY Athletics, and its whole appeal is that it's anti-trans. So buckle up for this. They say that their mission as a company is to protect women's sports. And I know it's their true mission because they keep saying it over and over and over again. You can see it in their mission statement on the website. And when she's interviewed about it, she says, I looked around at all the athletic brands in the marketplace and they make much ado about celebrating women, but not one has said we need to protect women's sports. Not a single brand is doing it. We're gonna do it. And how are you gonna do it? They're gonna charge you way too much for stupid clothing. So as an example, you could get this t-shirt for $40, which is fine, I guess. You overpaying for a t-shirt, does that protect women's sports in some way? What way specifically? I don't know, because they're not saying. All they're doing is selling you, for this instance, this Roar t-shirt is $40. And of course it's being modeled by Riley Gaines. This is her entire life now. You can get other t-shirts like Born Brave and Free to Think, Free to Speak, Free to Move. Free to get an abortion? I don't know, but you're free to do those things that she's okay with. They have a plain spoken tee. It's literally a plain t-shirt that has a label that's branded that says you don't need to be loud to make your point. That's also $40. And let me ask you a question. If you don't need to be loud to make your point, do you need to buy one of these stupid t-shirts to make your point? How about you buy a Hanes t-shirt, save yourself $30, and just be transphobic quietly to yourself with a little bit of cash in your pocket? That's not good enough. Anyway, the Say says she wants to start a cultural moment of bravery and become a force for truth and sanity. The truth is, trans people exist. They exist here and now, and in other places, and throughout history. They've always existed. I understand that for some reason that you have never articulated and probably will never stop to think about, their mere existence makes you deeply uncomfortable. But they exist and they will continue to exist. They're not going away despite your efforts to push them into the closet. So you might want to be a force for something, but it's not truth and it's not sanity. It's lying to yourself and doing harm to people who have never done any harm to you. That's your actual mission. Sharon, what do you think?
Bravo, and right on. And I think what's even worse, I suspect, in this case with the anti-trans clothing line, it's all about opportunism and capitalizing on anti-woke. I'm not sure that this executive, who probably is an open bigot, but I don't know that this issue is one that they are passionate about. I think they just want to make money and exploit divide and hatred. And they're like the people, well, they're attracting the people who put those bumper stickers on their cars, okay? That say things like, if you follow too close, I go slower, okay? Yeah. Your mama, whatever. It's just, that's who they're playing to the worst in us just to make a buck. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, and look, she's hardly the first. I mean, there's a beer company whose only cause is being anti-woke. There's razors that are anti-woke. What do razors have to do with wokeness or anti-wokeness? I don't know. They don't even know what wokeness is, but they would really like you to overpay for razors. You can overpay for, I don't know, everything on the Veebs app or this calendar of people who are, like anti-trans grifters. If you would like, you can overpay for almost anything these days to temporarily feel better than trans people you'll never meet. You can do that if you want. Why you would do that, I don't know. And what I would say is, if you actually care about women's sports, you're probably not interested in any of these brands. The people who run these brands clearly aren't, because they're just trying to make money rather than, I don't know, supporting women's sports. You could actually do that. You could fund the sports. You could advocate for TV networks to stream the sports. You could advocate for pay equity for the athletes. You could do almost anything other than what you're doing and actually enhance women's sports. You know what I've seen? There's been a lot of news about Caitlin Clark. This is one of the best women's basketball players of all time. Have Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk been talking about how amazing she is? Because they love women's sports, remember? Have they been advocating for like, oh yeah, I never really watched women's basketball, but it's super exciting right now. She's like amazing at 3-pointers. Have you seen that? Have they seemed even in a fake way, more tapped in to what's going on in women's sports? No, even like I'll even expand it to sports entertainment. I'm super excited for Rhea Ripley's match at WrestleMania against Becky Lynch. Are they excited for that? That demonstration of female athletic prowess and endurance and all that? They don't actually care about any of it. It ain't about women's sports. It's about attacking trans people and maybe along the way making a buck. That's it. Any final thoughts?
You're absolutely right. And we've got to remember that if you love women's sports, then I don't know why you would. This is an incredible time. This is what everyone's dreamed about. The women are doing incredible things, playing exciting matches and games, and not a peep. If anything, I picture, unless there's an opportunity, making fun of women's sports and
100%.
basketball and the like.
Yeah, it's like every one of these guys spent 20 years like mocking the idea of women's basketball or whatever. And then, oh, trans people. I love women's sports. I'm never gonna go. I'm never gonna buy a ticket. I'm probably still gonna mock it as much as I can and pretend that I care. That's the way it works. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.